In this video, I will cover a failure on a cylinder liner O-ring for this ISX15. I will also discuss the liner design and the steps to take if you suspect a liner failure. Hello, I'm Adam with TAT Express, and on this channel, we cover everything about semi-trucks and engines. Be sure to subscribe so you're notified when we release another video. And if you'd like to share your experience, leave it in the comments below. Let's get right into this video. We had a viewer contact us about coolant entering his oil. Now, there may be multiple areas that coolant can enter the oil, so correctly troubleshooting is very important, primarily because the cost difference of a minor component failure compared to a larger one. Now, with this unit, we found a failed cylinder liner O-ring, but I wanted to walk through the troubleshooting steps to follow if you experience the same symptoms. Other areas that may cause a similar sign of coolant entering your oil is an EGR cooler, a failed air compressor, a bad head gasket or a bad head, or in rare cases, the turbocharger bearing housing. Verifying coolant is entering your oil system can be done by checking the oil level rise on your dipstick or having an oil analysis. If you are losing a high volume of coolant, you should be able to verify pretty easily. Checking the EGR cooler would be the first step. You always want to start with the basic when troubleshooting. There may be a time where minor components could be the source of the problem, so it's best practice to follow procedures. Checking the EGR cooler for signs of coolant is simple. And if you find fluids in the EGR cooler, for verification, be sure to isolate and pressurize the EGR cooler. The next item you want to check is a leaking turbo. Usually, if you have excessive coolant going into your oil, it will not be a turbo. But go ahead and inspect the turbo to confirm. In most cases, if we see a turbo failure, it will have an external leak of coolant or oil. The oil cooler is another area of suspected failure, and in most cases, you will have cross-contamination with oil in the coolant. Since oil pressure is higher than coolant pressure, the oil will enter the coolant system when the oil cooler fails. That leaves us with the final item bolted onto the engine that passes oil and coolant is the air compressor. You can check the air compressor by inspecting the discharge pipe, air dryer, and air tanks for signs of coolant. If no coolant is found, we can confirm we have an internal failure on the engine. That means it is possible that we may have a failed head gasket, a failed head, or a failed liner. At this point, we would have to drop the oil pan and pressurize the coolant system to confirm where the coolant is entering the oil. During this inspection, you want to verify if the coolant is entering the outside or inside of the liner. If it is entering the outside, then the liner O-ring is what's suspected. If it's entering the inside, the head gasket or the head is suspected. During our test, we confirmed coolant passing outside of the liner. When we pulled the liner, as you can see, we have a failed O-ring on this liner. All Class 8 on-highway diesel engines have a wet liner design like this one. Coolant surrounds the entire liner, which helps with heat transfer and repairs. The only downfall is failures that you see here. This style of cylinder liner is used across all platforms. Maybe the engineers will develop a more reliable solution. Another item I'd like to mention is the anti-polishing ring. This is a carbon scraper ring. It sits in the bore of the inside of the cylinder liner. You can identify this type of liner by the grooves on the outside of the cylinder at the bottom. These carbon scrapers are designed to prevent bore polish caused by piston carbon packing. This is what I meant about carbon buildup around the top of the piston between the firing ring and the head. Over time, the carbon buildup can break loose and scratch the piston liner and cause excessive blowby. This is why it's also not recommended to idle your trucks nor use after-treatment tunes to cause overfueling for additional horsepower. We have noticed Detroit also adopted this design of the carbon scraping design. Check out the difference between the Detroit Piston and the Cummins ISX15. Both of them are 15 liters, but check out the difference. Guys, I hope this video was informative. If you have these symptoms, be sure to check other components before determining you have an internal failure. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you're notified when we release a new video. We are now at our new location at 4140 Langdon Road, Dallas, Texas 75241. If you'd like to schedule an appointment, you can call us at 972-225-3017. We are also seeking to hire a fitting addition to our team. We have available positions of a technician and a customer service representative. If you or someone you know are interested, you can apply at our careers page at TATExpressinc.com, or you can send us your resume at info@tatexpressinc.com. Guys, until next time, be safe.